we're going to talk a lot about innovation and design, but we're also going to talk about community. Let's bring Barry out and have him talk with you guys.
What I want to do is sort of talk today about social networks and communities, and I want to start with a simple message about our past. Think about the world for a second. I was growing up in Westchester County in the 60s, and I had a local thrift organization that took care of my deposits. A local community bank's job was to do something simply. By putting together the borrower and the saver, they created efficiency by creating a community bank, by essentially moving people's money from people who had it to people who needed it. That's a really cool idea. Now my local bank, now called Bank of America, doesn't know who I am, has no idea what I do, no longer a community institution. They are global, but they don't really know me. I mean, how many times I go try to see the local person, they don't know who I am. So I want you to all introduce yourselves to each other as if you don't care about each other, as if you don't know who they are. Go ahead and introduce yourselves to everybody at the table as if you're way too busy to know any of them. I love some of these people over here just sat down. They said, I don't even need to spend any time talking to you. There's got to be a better way. There's always a better way if you're going to innovate. If you're not part of the monster ed job function anymore, there's a better way. This time I want you to greet the person next to you as if they really were someone important to you, like they were the long-lost relatives, like you needed them to do your job, like you can't believe you haven't seen them for 10 years, like they're the most critical person in your lives. They're the loved ones. It's no joke and it's no surprise that when you know someone and you care about someone, the experience and the connection you have is fundamentally altered. Now you might ask, why does that matter in business? And because I'm going to suggest the idea of participating with somebody or someone's meaningfully fundamentally alters the way we do our jobs, and I'm going to suggest that emotive feelings are coming to business. Let's just see for a second if we are gaining power as community. So 36% of Americans now use Wikipedia, 85.9 million blogs. There are more podcasters than there are radio stations, and there are 35 million Facebookers growing at the rate of 65,000 people a week. According to Gartner, community development is the single most critical success factor in the enterprise as we all know it today. So businesses are communitizing. Let me prove it. How many of you use Facebook? You don't quite get Facebook yet. And I said, why is that? He says, well, you do use Salesforce.com, don't you, in your business? I said, yes. How many of you use Salesforce.com? Quite a few of you. He said, you really should think about Facebook differently. Facebook is Salesforce.com on steroids. You get to see everybody who wants you to see you, and it's free. Now, there's a cool idea. Build a business that has 1 million employees, in one example, or build a business in which none of them are employed, and you just empower them to do what it is they want to do using your tools. Chevrolet had 50% of the car market in the United States. Think about the fact that they went from 50% to 3%, and you have to ask yourself a question. Could they have possibly asked anybody why you're not driving a Chevrolet anymore? Why would anybody build a community where the customers are the experts, not the firm? Anybody want to give me an answer? Social networks and communities can make a huge difference to your business because you're putting into the hands of people who fundamentally care more than being paid $1 about your success. It's really quite amazing. Anybody use Dell computers? What Dell has realized is that they no longer know what it is that we want in terms of new features, new functions, new capabilities, new delivery mechanisms, new methods of doing business, and they've outsourced to us their innovation capabilities. Because if you have what's called a naked conversation with your customers or your employees, you need to be prepared for the responses that you will get back. That is the real cool and problem part of community building. When you finally, for the first time, ask somebody what do they think, what do they want, and how do they want it, you might just be surprised that you're not meeting their needs. Communities are the way in which we will do business. You don't have to take it from me. You will see it in your companies in the years ahead.